Alright, here we are with supply and demand. So, let me figure out what we're doing. Here we go. Supply and demand. Let's get started. Pretty little circle with all this information. So, let's get busy. Alright, supply and demand, the two issues we are talking about today. You will be using this information to help you with the homework classwork tomorrow. Alright, last slide. Quantity of good or service offered for sale at all prices. Why? It's key. Supply in the definition for this class economic unit is quantity or amount. How much of something do we have? A lot of people gave different definitions, but that's the idea. The quantity or the amount. See the supply curve? This is what you will be doing tomorrow in class. You're going to be making your own supply curve and your own demand curve. We'll see a further on. Excuse me. The law of demand. The amount of an item that buyers are willing to buy at any price. Not, I demand something. It is how much of something you want. That's the definition for economics. The quantity of an item that people want to buy. So it comes in, it's hand in hand with supply. And the equilibrium, when we do the chart tomorrow, you will find something known as the market price, where the supply and demand come into equilibrium. And it's very important. And when we go through this, you have to look and see, why is it so important? See this? This is what you will be making tomorrow. You should look at it very closely, because if you notice, let me get over here. On this side we got the price. You will make a chart, have price, quantity, and with the information I gave you tomorrow, you will be able to plot a similar supply curve, a similar demand curve, and you will be able to note the equilibrium or the market clearing price. And notice here, surplus, and notice there, shortage. The two very important words that go along with supply and demand, because your supply and demand will increase or decrease your product. So, oops, sorry. Let's go on. What might cause changes in supply and demand? Because will we have changes? Yes, supply and demand is not constant. There are changes. Look at this sad little picture. The corn not prospering, dying on the ground. Will this change supply? Will this affect demand? Why do you think? How would it change demand? Would it affect the price? Very good question. If you had farm fields like that going on a great basis, will that change the price? Because shortage is when the demand exceeds the amount supplies. And from this picture, will we have a shortage? Something to consider. Let's go on. Think about those questions. Pretty little green corn. This is a different sort of picture. What do we got here? How would it change if you have bountiful fields of corn, an excess crop? Will that change demand? Will it affect the price? Will the price go up? Price go down? Thinking about all of those fields of corn, boom. Will this surplus change things? Think about it. We can talk about it. Think about it if you have any questions. Back to the chart. If you have conditions Will this chart change? Will the equilibrium change? Will the surplus change? Will the shortage change? If you have drought, if you have an overabundance, does this stay the same or does this change? Something I would like you to consider. Product substitutions and demands. Does everybody have enough resources or money to buy the products? Or does the supply encourage you to substitute? For example, cereal. Everybody likes cereal. I like my Frosted Flakes, but Frosted Flakes can be very expensive. So if I can't afford the fabulous name brand Kellogg's, I'm going to go for the non-brand name generic cheap Frosted Flakes. Not as good, but if I don't have the money, I won't be able to afford it. Complements in demand. Things that go with products. Oh, you gotta love the iPhone. Not that I have one, but it's very high tech. Everybody loves it. It's state of the art. You want to have it. But once you buy it, don't you need extra things to go with it? You know, earphones, you know, cases because you want to drop it. And God knows everybody needs those chargers. At least one, maybe two. Complements. So we got shortages, surpluses. We talked about complements, substitutions. Weather affects supply and demand. Seasons affect supply and demand. We know that. Does price affect us? Ooh, good question. Because we all know that we all have enough resources to buy whatever we want. Or do we? What does it mean to say that the U.S. is a price-based market economy? Do you have an answer to that? Does price affect the economy? Does price affect what is offered? Does price affect what is supplied? Let's go. Price determines which products will be produced and which products will not. Yeah. How many million-dollar cars are built every year versus how many $20,000 cars are built? I mean, how many people can afford $1 million car? So why build that many? So demand and supply is connected to price. How do prices influence the efficiency of a business, household, or government? Is that a question you can answer? I would think so. Expenses versus income. If I don't have the money, I shouldn't be buying it. I should watch the prices because my income must purchase with limited resources. I got limited resources to buy other products. Either that or I need to increase my income to buy more stuff. You will experience that more in real life once you graduate. Expenses, employee costs, raw materials, operating costs, all things businesses and people have to deal with. Income, know what is demanded. It's the money you get when you do sales. And how do you get your income to buy this? Is you sell your labor. You are working so that you can purchase products with that paycheck. Oh, we got a couple questions here for you. War in the Middle East affect the price of oil? If you got war going on, will we be able to get that oil? Will the price of oil go up or down because we cannot get it? What's your answer? We need water and food. What about a disaster? If that water that you are used to getting from the water fountain shuts off, where are you going to get your drinks? Will that increase demand? What about if you can't flush the toilet? Will that affect demand? Because disasters do affect supply. Overproduction and depression. Do we have an issue here? If you produce too much, what happens to the price? If the price goes too far down, is that good for the economy? Is that good for the farmer? If corn is $10 a bushel and you produce too much and it goes down to $1 a bushel, is that good for the farmer? It's great for the consumer. I pay less, but it's terrible for the farmer. And that's law of supply and demand. So tomorrow when you come in, you're going to pick up the paper. Let me see if I can show you the paper. Hold on. You're going to see this paper. Market simulation, the price of wheat. If we had time, we would have done a simulation, but I want to try it this way. And you see right here, we have the price per pound. All right. That gives us the information to create the chart on the side for price. But we also down here have a demand. Okay. So on the back of this paper, you're going to create the chart. From the chart that you create with the supply line and the demand line, you will be able to answer these questions that follow. And that's where you will receive your grade. If you have any questions, we will answer them on Friday. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.